I'm saying I don't necessarily hate on cold showers, but like that's just it's like that type of stuff when I wake up in the morning, like how I feel, I want to wake up and be like, ugh, you know what I mean? Like go in there and just take my time with shit. You know what I mean? I don't want to just get
Hmm.
up in the morning and because like with cold showers, like it sends my body through a shock. That
That's the
motivates
point.
some people and wakes them up. You know what I mean? But that just personally pisses me off.
But here's
And
what.
I'm not trying to look at it in a negative way or anything, but I just want to like that early as fuck in the morning. Like I just can't do. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
from my perspective, I don't take a shower the first thing when I wake up. Instead, I go to the gym because I know after I go to the gym, I'm gonna want to shower. But if I shower first thing in the morning, I'm clean and shit like that. I'm not gonna want to go get hot and sweaty at the gym. So it's kind of like if I don't get to the gym first thing in the morning, I'm not going at all. So I
Right.
I, I make sure that the first thing I do is go to the gym, and then after that, I've built up. My blood's pumping. I'm hot and sweaty, and now I want that cold shower. So getting in there, and it's like this: you can start with it lukewarm. It doesn't have to be freezing cold when you first get in because it's difficult, dude. It's hard as shit. I'm not saying it isn't,
No,
but
for
you
sure.
start with it a little lukewarm, but not where it's like that like comfort warm, like super
Mm,
hot, where it's like, oh, this feels so good. I'm wrapped up in a little bundle of wood, or something like that. But instead, like start with a lukewarm and then get in there. Okay, this is a little chilly, and then just turn it right to cold. And at first, for the first, like I will say, 30 seconds, it's a fight. It's a mental fight between yourself and the inner bitch inside. And you're
right.
gonna tell that bitch to shut up, and you're gonna overcome this. And then, dude, you get used to it. I immediately put it under my arms, on my back, on my head, and I put myself in this cold shock, this cold water, and it's really good. And then I just wash my body, and when I get out, now by what 11:30, I've worked out, I've taken a cold shower, and now I've got warm food on the way.
Fuck yeah. Fuck
That
yeah. I
type
like
shit.
that for you. You know what I mean? I respect that type of, you know what I mean? My type of, workout or make my body right and feel good, I have to play basketball.
Hmm.
I'm not gonna lie, like lately my game has I feel like it's been getting better. Like actually I've been playing against actual like competition, like people that are actually on teams out here, like and they want to recruit me for a team. And if I'm here long enough, you know what I mean, I'm gonna join.
Dude, that's the type of community I'm looking for. Like, I would love nothing more than to just be on a fucking ultimate frisbee team, or you know what I
Dude,
mean, or
frisbee would be
any,
so awesome.
any kind of sport, like beach volleyball, anything. If I was in a group chat and every Tuesday the boys were like, "Hey, we're going out at 5," and then you show
Yeah.
up and there's 12 people ready to play beach volleyball. Like, that's the type of community I want. But that's really cool. So, what, you've been playing basketball and you talk to these people?
Yeah, so I hoop with our boss, our your old boss, Mitch.
Mitch. Okay, all right, yeah, the short
Yeah,
short guy with tattoos and muscles.
yeah.
Nice.
Hey,
Wait,
don't
what
gas
kind?
him up.
What's no? What's his player profile like? Give me a rundown.
He's a catch and shoot.
Mm,
But basketball, he's has good bat. He plays smart basketball. You know
yeah.
what I mean? He plays like real like IQ. Like me and him are good playing together. Like we've been playing so much that like I can beat him 1-on-1 now. I mean,
Okay.
the first 2 times we played 1-on-1, I beat him. You know what I mean? We only played 2 times, but I finally have learned his game. But he knows my game too. He's just like I can overpower him with my bigness.
Yeah, I feel like that's. I mean, you always beat me 1-on-1. Well, not always, because I always have a fighter's chance. But you've got the big and powerful. And my thing is I'm more of a mid range jumper type of guy.
Yeah,
So it's like if I'm not hitting the mid range jumpers and I try to go to the hoop, I'm getting swatted. It just happens. You know what I mean? Because I'm not that great of a layup guy either. I think I'm just the mid range master. I have it on the back of my basketball jersey, the mid range master. And if you don't call me that, I get upset and I cause a lot of fights. But
hey, honestly, bro, like you play good defense too. Like it's
that's
not like
also true.
like when me and you play against each other, like we actually play good defense on each other. And like you snatch back and you hit me with mid range jumpers because you get it right barely over my fingertips.
Yeah,
You know what I
right.
mean?
But you're right about that. I do have like the lockdown defender in me where it's like in the hustle stats. So mid-range jumper, hustle stats, and defense. But anyway, you were talking about playing basketball with Mitch and potentially working up to a team.
Yeah. So we've been playing basketball. I got Angel hooping now. Nick comes up there when he's done playing yoga. He plays. Nick's a hustle player. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nick's stamina is through the roof. Like
Right.
playing with Nick is only tough because it's like me and Nick are almost the same height. You know what I mean? So like I go up to get a board, he's coming up too. Say like we're fighting for it. Nick has more stamina. Nick's gonna beat me to
It's
that.
not
You know
about
what
the
I mean?
stamina, it's about the momentum. If you're stationary going for the ball and he's coming in with force, he's likely to win that battle just because of the force and the energy behind in which he's coming in.
Yeah, man. And Mitch introduced me to one of his best friends for years, right? Like and his name's DQ. And he's cool ass people, bro. It's his birthday last night. We was actually out at Shooters.
Oh yeah.
And we sipped a couple. You know what I mean? We was kicking it. I ordered the Caprice panini with
the Caprice.
And 20 wings, half teriyaki, half Jamaican jerk.
Damn, you downed it all?
Well, Nick helped me. You know what I'm saying?
I see. Yeah. We know that boy can eat.
Yeah, and I was offering. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't matter because at the end, it's food. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'd share the little shit, especially. And they were, bro. These were one of the best bone-in wings I've had, bro.
Really?
Because like it was very crispy. Really good meat texture. All that shit, man. It was great.
Yeah, he likes that good meat. And so we were talking a little bit about the NFL and what's gone down this past week of the Buffalo Bills, Damar Hamlin, he went down, cardiac arrest, this and that. And from my point of view, while I do feel bad and that's unfortunate that happened, I got to play devil's advocate in almost, Skip Bayless. I mean, is getting so much hate for it. Did you see his tweet? Skip Bayless tweeted something along the lines of, although basically what I'm saying, this is a terrible thing that's happened. Also, this billion-dollar company, has a lot riding on this game, playoff implications, where the rest of this season goes. At what point, like, do you just continue the game and keep playing? And where I came at it from it, where we were talking before this, was like, this happens every day in factories. People get their arms fucking cut off from a buzzsaw or something, or anything. And then, they just go and then you continue your work. You have to just keep working at Ford or whatever, wherever you're at. And it's like this happens every day around the United States. And I understand that this is because it is on national television. Everybody's watching this and whatnot. It's like, who did they stop for? Did they stop for the audience watching, or was it the players and the coaches involved with the game?
Bro, honestly, you gotta think. Like I was saying earlier, man, it's all about the media. You know what I mean? That should happen on national TV. You know what I mean? So obviously, when anything's on social media or national TV or anything for the world to see, automatically blows up because everybody has an opinion. You know? So what they do, they're like, we're just gonna cancel the game. That was too much for like the media and shit. We don't want to like continue playing and have people have opinions like, oh, this guy almost lost his life, and they just want to continue business. Yeah. You know what I mean? Fuck the NFL, because certain NFL players probably wouldn't have stood for that. You know what I'm saying? It would have been a whole ordeal. So I think the decision was smart, but like I understand it from your guys' point of view. Yes, business is obviously going to go on because there's players playing today, but it's like that specific program probably needs like another week or something, just make sure that guy's okay, back on his feet. Yeah. And, he woke up and, he asked who won the game. and they was like, "Man, you won the game of life." Man.
Right, that's so fucking like, come on, like this is to me, I see that, and that's like a corny storybook. You know what I mean? This is like all like, and I don't want sports to be scripted. I don't, but I feel like this shit is scripted. Like, you know, you can see this on a big silver screen TV. Who won? They put their hand on his shoulder. You won, DeMar. You won the game of life. You know what I mean? And then and then you have Rex Ryan like, I needed that, we needed that as fans. This is I did you know, he's crying and shit like that. And it's like one, I'm tired of seeing grown men cry on television. And number two, it's like this is so like orchestrated and fake that I'm really just like, okay. You know, and then how about this, Joe? The first play of the game today, the Buffalo Bills run back a 96-yard touchdown. You know what I mean? Like the very first play since then. Come on. Like at what point do so many coincidences become not a coincidence anymore, you know?
I mean, I feel what you're saying. I don't know.
Yeah, that's how many? You know?
Dude, why do you have to be the wild mouth guy on Twitter?
No, I did make a tweet. Go ahead and check me out. My handle is Jack Marius Tac Theratrix, but that's my nickname. But my handle is Portboy Cardi, and I said I at Rex Ryan. Them tears are about as fake as them teeth, boy. And we'll go ahead and we'll pull up a
You getting into Twitter fights is not healthy.
Well, no, he didn't respond or anything, but
because he probably looked at you and was like, scum.
Scum. And blew his nose into $100 bill.
Oh, my God. Yeah, bro. They rolling guap.
They rolling guap. What do you think? Yeah, those choppers.
Well, first off, why does he smile like he just got electrocuted? Why does he smile like a Nickelodeon star that just looks at the camera and like she did? I just stuttered. Never mind. It doesn't even sound cool anymore. Yeah, man. Okay. I see where you're talking about fake teeth.
This is Nick's face when you ordered 20 wings with a caprese panini and you offered him some.
Yeah, thanks.
But on another topic here, we were talking earlier about the UFC starting back up, and after a month, of taking a break, getting into the new year and that kind of stuff. And you said, Ryan, are you ready to go back to B-Dubs where you're locally known, the beer runs cold, and the bartender knows your name? And I said, really, I'm through with disrupting my life momentum with drinking and drugs and things like that. When it's like, as we talked at the top of the show, I've got this momentum of I've been eating right. I've been going to the gym, doing my cold showers, and I have never felt better. You know what I mean? I really feel so good. My skin looks amazing, as you can see. And, I feel great. And so, disrupting that momentum with just casually drinking every night or, once a week, but going hard, it's like not worth it, because when you get down to a scientific level, your body is constantly trying to get those toxins out of your body. So it's focusing energy there instead of focusing it on other things, such as your eyesight or your hair or wherever that shit goes. Instead, it's fighting off toxins. And thus you're prone to getting sick easier. Regardless, why is alcohol pushed so much in our culture? Why is alcohol debate on every television show, commercial? Why is it everywhere? And the truth is because it makes for a weaker country. It makes people weaker, and it makes them easier to control, and that's why the government has no problem, pushing for alcohol and all of these other type of things, vodka and what else? Whiskey and tequila and all that. Instead, and they don't want you touching the mushrooms and the LSD and the mind expanding drugs, that make you question the government and other things and, harder to control.
Hey, weren't you that guy that was huffing computer duster in the Walmart parking lot last week?
Yeah, that
No. I'm
was
talking
me.
shit.
That was me.
Um, no, but I agree. I think me personally, I think a joint should be as sociable as a beer or a shot. But like, I agree with you. Alcohol is makes your body weak, makes your mind weak. You know, like you have to just constantly drown yourself in liquor or beer or anything like. Because we've been there. You know what I'm saying? Me
Mm-hmm.
and you have done our fair share of drinking. You
Yeah.
know, and we were losers. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
When we was back in our hometown, not really doing shit, getting fucked up constantly. Well, we didn't think about this type of shit we're thinking about now. You know what I mean? Right
Yeah.
now we're thinking about like, man, where's our next location? Where are we about to work next? You know what I mean? We're
Mm-hmm.
thinking about adult shit. You know, like I'm really proud of us, man, as a whole. You know, like all jokes aside,
Yeah,
I'm
me
glad
too.
that I'm glad that we are woke.
But,
You know what I mean?
well, we're woke to the right things.
Well, that's being woke. Period.
No. I'm not woke. I'm not woke. Woke is an inherently bad thing. We are spiritually enlightened. You can say that, but we're not woke. Woke is like, you know, feminism and other
well,
things.
well, it's like no, it's not. That's no. It's like, would you rather be aware or be woke? You know what I mean? And like realistically, you would want to be woke because like when you're
So
woke about something, like you already know how it how the whole type of shit goes. Like we're woke about like drinking alcohol, what it does to people and what it does to
right,
us
that's
and our
just
bodies.
that's spiritual awareness. It's the same thing. Woke is just a term that people use to describe like woke like liberals and stuff like that. So
I I mean,
it's a it has more of a negative connotation. Instead, in spiritually enlightened sounds a lot better.
we'll call it spiritually enlightened.
Damn right we will. So check it
Um,
out. Here we are. Woke, originally intended to mean alert to civil rights issues or takes an enlightened approach to civil rights. Its meaning has changed. It is now associated with adopting an obsessive, blinkered, or deliberately obtuse approach to certain civil rights, particularly in relation to equality. It refers to an approach which is overall, on balance, harmful to society, ignores context and counterpoints, and is ignorant of the wider ramifications of the position taken. Under the pretense of being politically correct, the woke person is ironically asleep in that they are ignorant or unconcerned by the harms caused by their actions.
okay. See, I never looked that deeply into the word woke, but like now that you opened up a new meaning, it makes me think about it more.
Oh, yeah, I mean, there's more than one way to say things, you know. So now we have spiritually enlightened, um, which would say spiritually enlightened. Spiritual enlightenment is the discovery of a whole dimension of yourself hidden in plain sight that you never had experienced before, your true self. This dimension is not perceivable with the senses because it's not within the field of your awareness. Instead, it is the source and ground of your awareness itself. Therefore, you can't know this dimension with the mind. You can only know it by being it, which activates a dormant cognitive device far superior to the mind. This is achieved by foregoing all mental distractions and allowing every bit of your awareness to return to its source. Because when the full weight of your attention rests idly on its ground, a sinkhole opens up into this dimension and you become your true self.
Yeah,
That,
I'm him.
that's deep.
That is deep as fuck.
That's deep. That's deep.
But um, so man, how you really feeling about 2023, bro? You think it's like your goat year? Because that's how I feel.
Well, me personally, I think I'm just focused on self control, and that plays into the alcohol as well. As like, you know, just not giving in to all of these devices, overeating, eating too many sweets, indulging in alcohol, just because I just because I worked a 14-hour day 3 days in a row doesn't mean I get beer. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
in my mind, I have all of these equations, and it's like, oh, like you worked hard today, or you got up early and ate right. You deserve a glass of wine. When it's like, just because you did those things doesn't mean you get to basically negate them through it overindulging, right? So it's like,
Yeah.
I take a step forward and I just constantly take 2 steps back because in my head, I make it right that, oh, you did good, so you deserve to do bad, you know?
Right.
And I think that's for me in 2023 is what I want to focus on, is just like the self-control portion of myself, that little voice in my head that tries to tell me that it's okay to drink because you worked really hard today, or all of those things. So I'm going to control that. And I think in turn, I'm going to make better decisions. I'm going to put myself in a better place to get the things I want, to become the person I want to become. And I think that's really a strong foundation for it, truly.
That's amazing, bro. I really love
Yeah.
that for you, that you're locked in and focused, 'cause it's about the grind, fam. At the end of the day, it's really you versus you. You've heard me say that a million times, but like that's really what I came like New Year's Eve going into New Year's Day when I was watching the sunrise and I was staring at it, I was like, you know what, bro? It's really you versus you. Let's fucking turn up this year. You know what I mean? Because
Mm-hmm.
I plan to be somewhere, you know what I mean, just having a great time in my life. I'm
Yeah.
young, bro. I'm gonna be 23 years old this year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Ain't that fucking crazy, bro? You gotta think, bro. Even 10 years ago, bro, we was 12 years old kicking it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, bro, we're about to be 23.
I know. Yeah, it's really bizarre how fast time moves. I was riding my scooter the other day, just, daydreaming and shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, you know what I mean? Here we are in 2023 when it feels like obviously I still have about six months left of my 22nd year. But here we are in 2023. I'm going to be 23 years old. And just think about how fast this came. How fast is it going to be before I'm 29 and having
Right.
that thought, like next year I'm going to be 30, and
I don't want to think about us at 30 years old right now.
straight
Jesus,
up,
man.
straight up.
We're gonna
If
be
you
like old and shit, have our guts hanging out after we eat.
But the thing is, at 30, dude, that's the thing. 30 is not even like old, bro. I swear to God, if we take care of ourselves right now and we really like prioritize that kind of shit, we can have a fun, long life. You know what I mean? Of like when I think of like getting into my 50s, you know what I mean? Like even that isn't necessarily old. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
when we think about old, like we should be thinking about like 80s, 90s. Like that's where, okay, the body is beginning to degenerate. It's beginning to kind of become frail or whatever. Even though, I mean, people still take good control. Here's the thing: have you ever seen an obese like 80-year-old, like a very fat 80-year-old? You just don't see it. You know?
Yeah, because their life is getting sucked out of them. You know what I mean? So they don't eat that much no more. They get colder and bones start to shake and they get old and dentures and shit. They piss me off.
Well, no, they just aren't around because they die before they ever reach 80 years old. You know what I mean? Like fat people just don't make it to 80. You know what I mean? And it's like when I think about getting to 30 and then 40, 50, I look at, people around me and they're like at 50 years old and, now their body is starting to degenerate just because they haven't been mindful and taking care of their temple, right? And it's like, I don't want to
Right.
be like that, dude. I want to be able to go out and hit a punching bag at 50 years old. I want to be able to do stuff at 50 years old that that you should be able to do, but some people can't because they just don't take care of themselves. So I think that's important, like, really just focusing, like honing in on like, oh shit, like, okay, as much as we understand and we realize that like inside of us, there is something, right? What we would call the soul, right? And that hopefully lives on forever. But this right now is just a meat suit. And when I say that, like, yeah, I'm kind of just brushing it off. Like, this isn't my forever body, you know, this isn't my forever home or whatever.
Right.
But also, as diminishing as that sounds, it is also very important. Like, while I am here on this plane, like, it is the only one I get, you know? So I guess when we're talking eternally, this body is very insignificant. But when we're talking right here, right now, in this scale of things, it is very important, your body, you know, for the dictation of your life and how your happiness level over your lifetime, you know. And we talked about how your thoughts and stuff can control your appearance?
Yeah. Yeah. So when you're a negative person, you know, like a truly at heart negative person is always, you know, overweight or, you know, have a fucked up look on their face. I do believe you make a face so much, your face will get stuck like that.
Yeah, and your thoughts inside of your head dictate what manifests on the outside too. So it's like you don't see, like, you know, online videos of. Do you follow those accounts of online videos of Karens? You know,
No,
like,
but I see videos.
okay, so you see videos, and what do the Karens always look like? You know, they're not
Old
necessarily
in the face and shit.
they're not necessarily attractive, and they're just very hateful beings, right? And what you don't see is you don't see, like, okay, you don't see very, very attractive people, like, commenting under someone's post like, oh, you're ugly, you're stupid, you're an idiot, you know what I mean? Because they are attractive in them, or they are confident in and at peace with their body, with themselves, that they don't have to go tear other people down to fit those parameters of what they're living in, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like there's a lot of that is, like, you know what I mean, when you don't see, like, it. And there's another side to this, because as much as I'm saying, like, you don't see, you know, attractive men with six packs in shoulders, like, out causing problems. Like, okay, there are douchebags, like, not to say there aren't people on the Jersey Shore fucking causing problems, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
But also, it's like mostly, like, those people are attractive, good-looking people because they live a certain lifestyle, you know what I mean? That doesn't include degeneracy, it doesn't include negativity, it doesn't include all this bad shit. So, you know what I mean? And not to say all ugly people are involved with criminal acts or involved with those type of things, but if whatever you have in your personal life going on, like, you know, like the guy who works next to me at the pizza joint, right? He works at a pizza joint. I work at a float center. He's not an attractive guy, but also I know, to me, he's a non-threatening character, right? He's not gonna threaten me. He's not gonna hurt me. He's not gonna kill me, right? I know
He's
that.
so gonna kick your ass.
But I know that in his life somewhere there is something negativity. There is something sucking the beauty and the life out of his reality, and that's why manifesting in him there is no beauty and no life. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying.
He's probably a drug addict.
Maybe, but I'm trying to say that, you know, I'm saying that ugly people do have a sense of negativity and bad energy around them. Does it always have to be hateful and, like, criminal? No. That's all I'm getting through it.
Right. I mean, even though I'm, you know, my appearance is kind of rough, I still feel like...
No, I think you're an attractive person.
Oh, thanks, baby. No, but I've noticed as I'm growing up, you know, I feel like the shit you just said makes sense to me, because as I got older, I feel like I've gotten more attractive. Like, not to be weird or nothing, but like, think about me and you senior year of high school.
Yeah.
Right? Look at us right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like all the animosity and shit we went through, like, made us better people, and we actually have hearts and shit. You know what I mean? And I think that that just gives us like how you said, good looks and shit.
No, for sure.
And we basically manifested them without manifesting them. Like I would have never like been like, oh my god, I mean, I can grow a beard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Where was I going with this? Oh, I was going somewhere with this. Oh, and remember when we were younger, how long a day felt?
Dude.
You know what I mean? And now it's like that, like a day, like you wake up like I wake up at least, well, sometimes 10:30 and then sometimes 8:30. But either way, you know what I mean? Still, it's like the day just goes before you know it, it's nighttime. And then before you know it, it's midnight. And it's just like really bizarre. But you know what I bet slows down time? Being in prison. I bet right now, like, because there's so much we can do, and we have all of these different things with sports and podcasts and all these other things we can dive into and enjoy. It makes the day go by fast. But the people in prison, like, what do they have? Weights? That's push-ups, weights,
push-ups,
push-ups.
and commissary.
Yeah, so I feel like that takes that probably makes the days go by real long. Wouldn't you think?
Yeah, bro. I mean, you gotta think like they have to get used to it because, like, say you're in there for life, that's you now. You know what I mean?
Dude, and here's the thing with a life sentence. There's also the parole, which, depending on what you did, you could potentially get parole and be let out. Is that correct?
I believe so.
But it's like, what have you done to get a life sentence that is ever going to allow you to get parole? You know what I mean? Yeah. But and I
that's
guess
usually people who get like 20, 30 years get parole.
I see. Okay, so they get at least some kind of chance.
Yeah.
Dude, if I was life in prison, dude, I would just make it a game. Every single day, I would try to escape. Every single day, I would try to fucking figure out.
Dude, they would put you in maximum security with like all. Dude, you would.
They would have me in a straitjacket, just like, just freaking out.
Yeah, you would be the psycho in prison.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess like once a year, I would try a big escape. You know what I mean? And the rest of the year, I would be planning it. You know.
And they're like, "Oh, Ryan, your annual escape's coming up."
I'm like, no, it's not what it's. I'm like, no, it's not what you're talking about. They're like, it's right there in your notebook. It says annual escape, July 23rd.
And he's like, and then like a guy walks by and he's like, "Hey man, who you bringing to the escape on the 23rd?" And people were putting up flyers like 23rd and like the R's backwards.
Yeah. So I guess I would like, if you were going to escape prison, what? Okay, let's make a prison and then try to escape from it. So, no, how many floors does this prison have?
Let's say 3.
All right, this prison has 3 floors, okay, and it has 3 floors. And how many cells are in there? Over 3 floors. Like, it doesn't have. This doesn't have to be a huge prison, but it can be.
Let's say 40 on each floor.
Okay, 40 on each floor, right?
20 and 20.
20, that's perfect. Okay, 20. And then what are there, like, common area bathrooms on each floor? Oh, it's in your cell? I've never been to prison.
Me either.
Okay. So then you have a bathroom in your cell, which is kind of tight. You don't have to go anywhere. You can just use it. Okay.
I mean, but you can't shower in there. You know.
Okay, so let's say there's a shower room on every single floor.
Well, okay.
All right. There's a shower on every floor for the 40 and 44. And then there's one library, one cafeteria, a basketball court, and what's one more thing that there is? Dude, let's say at this prison they have a program. They have an
rehab center.
No. They have an automotive program, so people can come get their oil changed by inmates and stuff like that, and like prisoners. Okay.
Yeah, bro. And can you imagine writing Yelp reviews about him? Like, Fernando did my brakes perfect. He shouldn't get 25 to life. # free him.
And then the other coin is like, but Brent, let me tell you about that guy. He's a shitbag. He fucked up my carbureted intake. And Brent's like, what the fuck? And so Brent gets out and murders him. But anyway, okay, so there's an automotive repair center where people can come and get their oil change.
This is crazy for a prison.
Yeah, I know, but it's a program. They're trying something new with the state, and and 3 floors. Okay, so now what are you in prison for?
If I were to choose something to be, armed robbery.
Okay, armed robbery. Where did you rob? What kind of place did you rob?
A 7-Eleven.
And did you shoot anybody at the 7-Eleven?
No, but I pistol whipped somebody.
All right. Did you get? But I pistol whipped somebody. Did you get away, or were you arrested at the scene of the crime?
No, I fought off the cops, and then I went to run and I pulled my hamstring, so I fell down and they tased me.
Okay. I like it. All right, and now me, I'm a manic stealer. When I get to stealing, I just can't stop. And let's say I just at first it started with small things like a box of goldfish, at Kmart.
Yeah.
And then it got to bigger things. And now I've become like this grand jewelry thief. Okay. So now I've been stealing, I stole the Queen's crown from the UK. Okay.
Oh man! So how do you get this crazy, amazing prison story? And you're just like, were you at the 7-Eleven?
Yeah, you were at the 7-Eleven. I was in the UK stealing the crown, bitch. I still got one of the rubies up my ass, but I was like, you want to see it? But okay, and now we're inmates together. Like we are in the same cell. Okay.
And I'm like, I get top bunk.
I'm more of a power bottom anyway.
And then I get up there and it's like cracking. And it's like, let's switch.
Okay. So now we're inmates together, and now the annual escape is coming up on the 23rd with the backwards R. Now, where do you start? Where are we going to start and try to get out? Like, how are we? Okay, let's figure this out. Are we going to do a long-term escape, or are we going to try to book it and do like a short-term escape?
So, since you were a professional thief, you have a bunch of money saved up in the bank. So, somebody from one of your wives, you have 4 of them. One of your wives puts a bunch of money on your commissary, right? Then you deck out everybody in the prison just to have them for this plan. Then everybody just bum rushes the front.
What the fuck?
and then you blow up a balloon and you're floating the sky, from the basketball court.
And there's the snipers it fucking pops them. I'm fucking falling.
You land on top of a car and then you're and then something lands on top of you.
All right. Yeah, right. Okay, so that was a short-term plan. I'm going to go ahead and explain how we're going to do a long-term escape, okay? So you get a job at the automotive center, right? You get a job. Man. You get a well. This could also be a short. Let me do a short-term one, and then I want to do a long-term one with you. But let me do a short one first. You get a job at the automotive program, and I am a janitor. I just mop the floors and stuff like that. But you're changing oils and you're working on carbureted.
I'm like, God damn it!
you wipe off sweat from your brow and you get oil on your face. You're like, what the fuck? You got oil all over your face.
You're like, it's so disgusting here. And they're like, shut up, Pandy.
And Okay. And the lady's car you're working on is like chewing gum. Like, really, dude? You're like, I'm sorry. Okay. So you work at the automotive place, and I call one of my four wives, right, to come and get our Ferrari's oil changed, right? So now this Ferrari rolls into the place, and you're cleaning, right? And I'm the janitor, right? So I'm mopping the floors, and the guards, they come into my room and they're like, you missed a spot, they're messing with me. And yeah. I close the jail cell on them, right? And I take their keys and I close the jail cell on them. So now the guards are trapped in our room. And, I run down 3 flights of stairs to the automotive center. You now are with my wife and the Ferrari, right? I jump in and we leave.
What if you're leaving me? I'm like, hey, wait!
Right. You're down below.
Get tackled.
For a second, I wanted to take that story. The other inmates stole the Ferrari, and now we're just standing there like, what the fuck?
Right, what are we supposed to do now?
I'm like, let me check my guide. I've got like an escape prison guide. All right, let's do a long-term prison break. So
all right, so this time we have a crowd. They're like, people are like, hey, I paid 2 cups of noodles to come here.
To where?
To the escape plan on the 23rd.
Oh, okay.
They're all buying like fake pieces of paper as tickets.
Yeah, right. Yeah, like gum wrappers and stuff. So now I've got a crowd, and now we've got a crowd of people, and we're doing a long-term play. Okay, so over time, we keep stealing the books from the library. So the library has to order more, and we're stealing books by the hundreds, right? And we're keeping them in our cells, right? And
so when the guards walk by and they see these stack of books, they're like, where'd you get these? And we're like, the internet.
Yeah. Where'd you get these? Like, I guess that's true. How would we hide the books?
Well,
we just destroy them, and we're like saving them just to destroy them, and they're like, how is this part of the plan? What do we do next? I don't know.
And you're like, I don't know, just keep ripping.
No, that's a long-term plan. We steal hundreds of books each month. So, and then we burn the books, we destroy the books. So the prison has to keep buying in and getting more books. And after like 30 years of us stealing hundreds of books and them having to buy more books to put in there, the prison goes bankrupt and they have to let us all out.
Okay, so all these years while we're stealing these books, out of the millions of dollars that you're saying they're going to spend on books, they don't care. They don't care. They're like, you guys are stealing your own fun.
Your own fun.
And then they're like, actually, Ryan, why are we doing this? You're like, shut up and stick to the
plan. And by now I'm like fucking old and gray. I'm like, shut up and stick to the plan. 20 more years.
And it's like, Ryan, this is the 43rd annual escape plan. And then you're like, and then it's like the next year they're like, Ryan, we're not doing this again. You're like, you know what? I got a new plan. And you're like tying up a noose. You're like, all right, everybody just stand here and watch me.
And it's made out of paper from the books we've stolen over the years. So when I jump, it just rips and tears.
And you bust your face on the ground. You're like, ow. And they're like, let's go, guys.
Right, they've lost all faith in me, and this is my villain origin story, right? I'm fucking on the ground with a busted face, papers laying all around me. I'm just like alone, and
like, a guard comes up and is like, Ryan, we knew you were the one that was stealing the books the whole time. We just wanted to watch you do this.
Okay, so the 43rd annual prison break now commences, and at this point we start stealing the tools from the automotive
Um,
program. That makes sense though. This makes sense.
hey man, you're fucking with my job, man. And
Right?
you're like, shut up, and you throw a book at me.
Where'd you get this? The internet. but but okay, so now we have wrenches and we have screwdrivers and what else? What else do we have?
We have hammers
We have hammers. That's good.
and
And
socket wrenches.
socket wrenches. I like it. And and now we got to start. What I think is we got to start digging at some point, right?
I'd say we just
Go ahead.
have all that equipment, meet the leaders of the gangs, sell them that stuff, and while they're beating the shit out of each other in the huge gang war, we can just run out of the door.
Yeah, I like it. Or or we get a ton of balloons sent to us, right? Like a ton of balloons. And with nitrous oxide. And we start filling up these balloons with nitrous oxide, right? Like billions of balloons. And the building slowly but surely just rises off the ground. And now we're in a floating prison. And we're the first ever floated prison, but we didn't escape. Instead, we just made history.
And we're all like, school
out forever. Like
and we're all like singing along, like, and they're like, Brian, the 44th escape plan was the amazing one.
Yeah, it's like I didn't escape. Instead, the whole prison escaped. Like the whole building is just, and now we just keep going up and up and up, and now we're in space. Like people are like, "Geez, I'm getting kind of hungry. What's the next part of the plan?" And I'm like, "Shut up,
shut up, and enjoy the plan."
It just shows like going past like Jupiter and Pluto and like the sun, and fucking we're just like just floating out in space.
Dude. Oh my god.
Yeah, that was fun.
Look, I like how it just went to a floating prison after all, and it was a happy ending and everything.
Dude, you know what I'm really getting into? The shoe game. Shoes.
Oh yeah?
Are you into that?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Dude, it's like I like shoes, man. I like them. I really do. It's more or less like I don't have like I want to sell them, of course, don't we all? But it's like I can't hold an inventory, you know. But like to go out and like, you know, go to these nice ass like shoe places and spend $500 on a pair of shoes just to be able to flip it somehow. I don't know how they do that, but they flip it for give me $200 profit. And
well, you gotta think about it like this. Say you fucking say you buy a super rare pair of Jordan 11s, right?
Mm-hmm.
That costs you like $800. Bro, you could flip them bitches to somebody who's like just getting into shoes and be like, bro, I need 1,000 for them, you know?
Yeah.
And then once you get 1,000, you could buy like like two pairs of like $400 shoes and a pair of $200 shoes. Boom, and sell the $200 shoes for like $250, $270.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then sell the 400 ones for, you know, it all depending. You can sell them for like $556.
And yeah, dude, I just be getting. There's a shoe store called Headache Trading Company down here in Delray. They've been featured on Complex and all that shit. Like I think Mike Tyson went there actually, and he bought shoes there. And I've went to the store and dude, there's no shoes under $200. You know, they're all fucking high class, like very nice shoes. I want a pair, but it's like, can you wear them, or do you strictly just have to hold on to them?
Well, if you want to sell them, hold on to them.
Right.
But here's the thing. I think everybody needs a nice pair of J's. You know what I mean? Nice. I think your style, you need to look into the Jordan 4s.
Okay, I'll look at Jordan 4s here. I'll pull up Jordan. I don't know. See, that's the thing. I'm more of like a Nike Dunk type of guy if I was going to do it. But I just don't know how I would get into Jordans, you know?
Well, the Jordan 4s would be good for you because it's a box eater shoe. And like with the way you wear like your jorts and like a jersey and them Jordan 4s would just look tough, like how you would be
Right,
wearing a
because it's
boot.
almost like how I wear my boots. Yes, exactly. Let me find this real quick.
And you know, there's certain Jordans that just look good on everybody, like a pair of 11s. Like 11s look good on everybody.
What do you see here? Like these?
Yeah, them are Jordan 4s. All of them are Jordan 4s.
Interesting. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, man.
I like these yellow ones.
The yellow ones came out last year.
Oh,
They're really
really?
cool. Yeah. And here's the thing, bro. You can go on sneakers or Go. Don't use StockX because they sell fake Jordans. But use like Go.
What's it called?
Go.
Goat?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
GOAT.
Goat. Cool, dude. You want to see
I had those.
what? Those?
Them shoes exactly right there.
Cool.
Yeah.
How much were they?
220.
Wow.
Yeah.
What the?
Jordans ain't cheap, fam. Nike Dunks ain't really cheap either all of a sudden, you know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
people forget.
they're super popular now. They're trendy.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. People forget them shoes was in Payless 5 years ago.
Wow. Payless. So
Exactly.
yeah, dude. So regardless, I was gonna show you Headache Trading Company and some of the shoes I've been looking at. I mean, because there's a couple I want, and dude, they've got some sick shit. Like they've got a pair of Nikes with the Grateful Dead. It's furry, it's like green fur, and then the Grateful Dead on them, $1,000. But
yeah, I know exactly which ones you're talking about.
I wanna get into it. I really do. I do. It's I might maybe I the thing is I just want a pair of dope ass shoes. Like right now I've got my dope New Balances and stuff. I'm more of a boots type of guy. Shut your mouth. I've got Timberlands. I've got Timberlands that you gave me. I got my two-toned gray Timberlands that I rock. But I don't have like a nice pair of sneakers. Like that are real flashy and like. But also, I don't wear pants. Is the thing. Like I have I have like two pairs of sweatpants
Here.
and one pair of pants.
Well, here's the thing, bro. You wear joggers, right?
A little bit, I guess.
So my recommendation, bro, get you one pair of black Air Forces and one pair of white Air Forces. Because look, here's the thing with the white Air Forces. You want to step out, you know what I mean? Clean little shoe, white Air Forces. Boom, loosen them. You can loosen them up. You know what I mean? Me and Nick loosen all of our forces.
Yeah.
And then you can fucking, with the black Air Forces, you could just wear them whenever. You know what I mean? Because they're all black. So it's like I don't know. It's just good two shoes to wear with, like you want something fresh, basic fresh, you don't need none like if you want to really get flashy, you know what I mean, get a pair of Jordans. But like, some nice stepping out shit, Forces all day.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna look into that. And one more thing before we end the show here, I want to get into this segment real quick. There's a tweet. You are what you eat, and some of you motherfuckers eat bugs. Or wait, some of you motherfuckers eat lobster, shrimp, and prawns. Bugs. You eat bugs. You're against WEF and Klaus Schwab, but you fucking love gobbling up toxin-riddled lobster. Make it make sense. So, like crab and lobster and shit, those are the bugs of the sea. Those are just huge bugs of the sea, right?
Right.
And ponds for growing shrimp are so small that they quickly turn into sewage dumps. So to keep the shrimp alive, they pump the water with loads of antibiotics. And they also feed pig shit to shrimp in Asia, where most of it's imported. So best to avoid if you don't like pork. So recently I've stopped eating pigs. I've stopped eating pork because and pork chops were like my go-to thing. Like that was what I like.
Right.
But pigs don't sweat. So all of the shit that they eat, which is literally everything plus shit they actually eat, like their own poop, like everything that they eat, they can't release those toxins through sweat and other ways of how creatures normally release these toxins. So really, it just stays in them. So when you eat pork, you're eating everything that they have ever eaten, and all the toxins that come with it. So I'm done with the alcohol. I'm done with the pork. I'm really, I'm really trying to reinvent. I'm trying to redo this shit.
Yeah, facts.
So I'm done with that. And then also they've said that pigs, like there's a theory going around that pigs are just domiciled humans. Like in Asia or other cultures, they call pigs like long, or no, no. Okay. In cultures that are like, what is it called? They still live out with like sticks and shit like that. You know what I mean? There's like cultures that in this world where like where they still like use sticks and like they're very primitive cultures. They call humans, us, long pig, which because we are basically just the evolution. People say we are creatures that are a mixture of monkeys and pigs combined. We are the long pig. And cannibalistic societies, they call humans long pigs. That's what I was looking for. So they call us humans long pigs, and because they eat people. And when you look at it, like if you look at a pig's eye compared to a human eye, dude, they look exactly the same. Like if you like, you can look at a pig and see human characteristics, man. And like, look at this, brother. Brother. But it's like they say that pigs are really just humans that have been banished for like, doing things like rape, murder, pedophilia, and like all of these things. People that have really fucked it up, they get banished.
Yeah.
They become pigs. Doesn't that look like a human's eye? I mean, there's a comparison there, yeah.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Like you can kind of look into it and see human characteristics. So, as gross as it is, it's just like, really crazy stuff. It's kind of creepy,
Yeah, bro, that shit. It's really the circle of life, bro.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, everything's not as different as we think it is.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot of similarities to a lot of things.
Yeah, well, they say, sometimes reality is crazier than anything that can be imagined,
Exactly.
It's really, really bizarre, bro.
Facts.
Well, listen, this is the MMMORE podcast. I had so much fun doing this on a short notice with you, Joe. Just us two back at it again. And I think if you compare this episode to the first one we did, just you and I, you can see how we're getting better each and every episode as podcasters and with our show. And dude, we had some really good belly laughs during that jail bit. So I really enjoyed that, dude.
Bro. It was awesome, man. I'm glad we got back. We got back to it.
Yeah, no doubt. That was awesome. I love you, bro. And everyone watching, listening, like, comment, subscribe. Please share to your friends and everyone you love, and share this good energy with them. And my name's Ryan.
My name's Joe Money.
And this is the MMMORE podcast. Thank you so much. Peace out.